the Moroccan, the great Moroccan, is unavailable to compete in this steeplechase. And Lamechia Girma, the new world record holder, is injured. So those two who contested the World Championship final with the others trailing in their wake a little bit, sadly not here. However, that then gives the chance for others to step up. The likes of young Simon Koech of Kenya, who's a great young talent. Firewu as well, the young Ethiopian, up against his more experienced and more well-known teammate, Wale, who's had a tricky year. I say he's more experienced, he's still only 23 himself, Wale. Won the Diamond League final in 2019, when he himself was just a teenager. So really good conditions still. That breeze is picking up down that back straight, though. The flags are certainly now easy to see when you couldn't quite work them out earlier on when they were hanging rather limply. I'll try and work out what the third one is.
The men's 3,000-meter steeplechase.
So in the sunshine on the back straight, Novak will be asked to set a pace, kind of get them in and around the 8-minute mark. So he wants to go through in around 2:40, 5:20. The lights will be trying to help as well, but we only have one pacemaker. Not quite sure how far Novak will get. And then it'll be a case of who's feeling good on the day, who wants to take this on. We do have Abraham Kabiwa in this race as well, the bronze medalist behind Bakali and Girma. And I mentioned young Koech, Firewu. Koech just recently turned 20. There he is. Firewu at 19, well, 2 European. And so where they go, has made a great start to his steeplechase career. Bunch of personal bests this year. So where they go, one that I haven't mentioned, Ryuji Miura in the blue of Japan. And Miura has really been a bit of a revelation, really, in the steeplechase as well. I mean, you have to look, you can't really look beyond the Kenyans and the Ethiopians in this, and then El Bakali from Morocco, but the likes of Miura, who's been brilliant. He's only 21 himself as well. Big performance, got under 8:10 in Paris. Ran a great race at the Olympic Games, and that record, he's been around that 8-9 mark 2-3 times, but he saves his best for the big races, the big championship races. So he did well in Budapest. He's at the back of the field at the moment, though.
Well, it'll be fascinating, Steve, to see who imposes themselves on this race, if anybody, with the big two missing, as you said, El Bakali and Girma, the gold and silver medalists, respectively, for Morocco and Ethiopia, absent. And if they go with Novak's early pace here, 2:40, they've been asked for the first kilometre, that is 8-minute pace, then it could be pretty quick. The world record, of course, by Girma, set in Paris back in early June, 7:52. We're not expecting anything like that, but something down around 8 minutes would be special. It's a case of whether or not anybody's prepared to really grasp this opportunity to dominate, go with Novak, and cut out a really quick early pace. Meeting record, 8:01 by Ezekiel Kemboy. It goes back to 2015, 8 years ago now. Well, ironically, there's a jump-off in this pole vault between Soutej and Moon. They're identical on paper.
Katie Moon then in this jump-off in the pole vault.
Yeah, Soutej already with a personal best at 481. The bar at 486. They've each had 2 failures. The American, the Olympic champion, and Tina Soutej, who was 4th in Budapest. Inseparable at the moment. This for Katie Moon to throw the gauntlet down to Soutej, and she nails it. Goes clear. Well, Moon throwing the gauntlet down to Soutej. And that should be her 3rd attempt at 486. The caption not yet explaining that. They both cleared 481 first time. They've each had 2 failures at 486. That's the 3rd attempt at 486 for Moon, and she is indeed in the lead.
Simon Koech doing a great job here of trying to not only win this, but head for a decent time as well. Every time he comes down here, he's looking up at the big screen. It's actually on one of the field events at the minute, so not letting him know what's going on behind him. Ferrero's done well to hang on to Wale. Wale just a little look over his shoulder, sees his teammate there with 2 laps to go, though. The one thing that Koech knows, though, he has to get this moving and make it hard, and I've seen him get out kicked a couple of times, and when he ran so well earlier in the season in the Diamond League in Monaco, he just kept running away from everyone, and he beat Kabiwat on that occasion, who's now distant Kabiwat, the world medalist. It's these 3 well ahead of everybody else, but he hasn't got rid of them yet.
Well, that second kilometre, 3:03, almost at 3:04 after the opener, 2:41, was so good with the pacemaker of Nowak. A good job he did. But Steve, as they come to this water jump now, lap and a half to go. He hurdles that one in that style that the East Africans have sort of nailed and are gradually enforcing on the rest of the world. The old technique, of course, 1 foot on top of the barrier. But it does save time, I think, if you've got the strength to land and run on strongly out of the water. And that gap is pretty big at the moment. He's just within range, I think.
Well, these two know each other well. They ran against each other in the World Junior Championships in 21. There was actually 2 Junior Championships back-to-back. Ferreira won medals in both. Koech had moved out of the junior ranks last year, but back in 21, the 2 of them chased for the silver and the bronze, and Koech knows that both of them know each other very well. And look how Koech does not want to leave this to the home straight. It's going to be pretty quick. And Tim mentioned it was actually 2:43 the second kilometre, but within range here. So Koech, oh, look at Ferreira, who just stumbles over there. It's his technique that helps, and when you're tired, having a better technique really just can't help you maintain that momentum. When you're fatigued, look at that lovely action over the water jump, whereas Ferreira has to put his foot on it, lose another metre or 2. And here's Koech then, big win in Monaco early in the season, and his next win's going to come in the Diamond League final. It's going to be a pretty quick time. 8:4 is his best. He's not going to be too far away from that, maybe a little bit outside, but it's a pretty dominant run from Simon Koech of Kenya. Takes the title, 8:06 in the end. Ferreira was there, and a fast finishing George Beamish is going to take 3rd. Another great performance from the US-based New Zealander, but no doubt about our winner. 2 youngsters here, that's Ferreira on the ground, but Simon Koech is away off on his lap of honour, there he is, having completely taken the race by the scruff of the neck. He has that ability, you know, he doesn't mind getting out in front, and I think as he develops, Tim, he's definitely a sub-8-minute runner in the reckoning, and as El Bakali and Girma still continue to run as fast as they do, he's still got a way to go.